Hello everyone and welcome to another video on this channel, and today we're going to take a look at the stock Mullen and to see when it will finally squeeze. I do know many people believe this stock will squeeze in the near future, and today we're going to see if we can find out signals to watch on when Mullen will squeeze. So first of all, we do see that the volume has increased a lot since the end of April. However, to get a better chart, let's get rid of the volume indicator here. We know it's high. Um, what we see and what's striking is that the 20-day moving average seems to be the big resistance line here. We've seen an attempt in March and we've seen an attempt in April to get above that line. However, it hasn't worked. We even saw in the beginning of May an attempt, but every time we attempt to close above it, in the end of the day, we close below that level. So the big level to watch in order for the squeeze to get a start is definitely that 20-day moving average, which is currently at about 205. So from here on it's still around 30%. It also is at the moment quite similar to the trend line we're in. Draw a bit like this, we do see that the trend line of the highs that started in March, April, and May is almost similar to that line. So it's kind of a double resistance right now, where the 20-day moving average and the trend line are very close to each other. So it's definitely a big break if we could be able to break above that level on the short term. Now on the downside, of course, it's quite an easy one. We have the previous low of 126, which is definitely a level to watch in the near future. If we break below that, new lows will be coming, and from that point on, of course, the magical $1 number to stay compliant with the Nasdaq will be a level to watch, a level which you don't want to get below. If we draw this through this trend line, we can expect that the 20-day moving average will also be approximately going like this. So between now and mid-May, end of May, you're definitely going to see either the drop down here or the break up of this trend line, which could then start a new trigger for a new move up and potentially the squeeze. But I mean, when will we consider it a squeeze? So we do have this level here, which is the previous high before that split, which is at around 250. From here on, it's still a nice gain. Wouldn't consider it a squeeze, but that level will potentially also intersect with that 50-day moving average, which is currently will touch that line at around the same time that we'll probably be seeing a collide of these two trends. So it's definitely also a level to watch, and it could be a real trigger for the big squeeze. Then another level to watch here is the threes, which was the previous high in April, and the level we see right here, which is currently at around the almost fours, the high of beginning of April. So those are the levels to watch. However, for a big squeeze to start, we would definitely be needing to break these levels in order to get things going. So how likely is it that that will happen at this stage? Well, what we do see is that we now have 4 days of consolidation, and in the past we have seen that those consolidation periods do not necessarily need to be bad. We've seen them here, which was a bit of a longer one, around 10 days with one odd day of consolidation. So even if we might go up one day and go back down, it wouldn't necessarily be too bad unless we do stay within this range above, let's say, the 120s. Even a slightly lower low wouldn't be too bad. We've seen here as well a few days of consolidation wouldn't be too bad. We've seen it here. So overall, in the past, those consolidation days do tend to be followed by some big moves up. Now, where could this go then? Well, here we had a move from the 550s to the 15s, so it was a times 3. Looking way back here, we did see from the 13s to the 104s, approximately times 10 possibilities. So if that would happen, times 3 times 10, you'd be looking at, again, those 4 around those 4 levels. This will be a crucial level here to watch on the high of March. And when we look at the weekly candles here, times 10 would be approximately this level here, which is a very interesting level to monitor. It will be the high of the year January, which was around 1194, which is approximately the same as the 50-week moving average. So that would approximately be a times 8 times 9 squeeze that could be on the cards then, and would definitely be a moment to consider taking profit if we would not break that level, if the move up continues to happen. Again, the last time we broke above this was at the end of 2021. It's been a long time. Also, the 20-week moving average has been quite a big resistance line, which we have closed above only a few times in the past. So that's also a level to watch in the short term. Looking back at the daily, the next couple of days will be absolutely crucial for Mullen. I do expect somewhere between today and probably like May 17th, 18th to have broken either to the upside or the downside. And then, of course, it's the question, will it be considered a squeeze or not? So as we've seen in the past, big moves can happen on this stock. And on the downside, let's say you do want to take a risk, you could always put that stop loss at 126, maybe 120, or if you're a bit more of a risk-taking person, you could put it like 1, and you only would lose 40%. On the upside, I do think there's much more potential on the short term as well, with those resistance lines coming down and we're getting closer to them as well. So yeah, definitely a good risk-reward play, and we're gonna look in a few weeks if we can consider it the start of a real squeeze or just a small bump up and a continuation of a downtrend in the end. Thanks for watching. We're going to be monitoring this the next couple of days, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.